Trying to vibe to the beat a little bit. Hey, everybody, it's me, V, the CPS Scholar. Thank you for joining me for another review. And I'm going to talk about Bel-Air, Season 1, Episode 6, The Strength to Smile, aka the Lisa episode. So, this episode wasn't as exciting as the rest of the episodes, but it definitely gave a lot of explanation and exposition to why everybody is feeling the way they feel about Lisa, all the love she gets from the Banks family, why she's so sad, why her daddy is suspect as hell. I can't cuss until 2 minutes in or I would start cussing. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for going on this ride for me. I want to thank everyone who's been subscribing, leaving comments, likes. Oh my God, you guys don't even know how much I appreciate you all. It definitely shows me what you guys like so I can keep going in that direction. And I just enjoy interacting with you all. So thank you so much for coming to my channel and showing me love. And I want to show you love back. But either way, yes, the first, I'm calling it the Fresh Prince, but Bel-Air is definitely a newer version of the Fresh Prince. Some of these storylines would have never rolled back in the day. But what I wanted to talk about before we get into the story, I've been hearing some really, really crazy things that got me side-eyeing some of y'all in these internet streets. I heard that the new Hillary is not as fine as the whole old Hillary. And I'm like, hold on, have y'all seen Coco Jones? She melanated, beautiful, fine body. She was showing thigh in this episode and something else, but we're going to get to that. I mean, really? Y'all suspect. There's different people in different shades, different hair, and we're all beautiful in our own way. And I even had to get on my kitties on Clown and Carlton to figure out why they were clowning him, because I was like, I hope y'all not talk about that man because he got Africanized features, because his skin is banging. His character make you want to punch him in the throat. I agree with that. Punch him in the throat. All that. He's really annoying. But they was clown. I had to double check because I don't play that colorism crap at my house. That part. Then people are talking about Lisa. Let me tell you, I watched the first episode with one of my homeboys on the line with me, and when we seen that Lisa come through, we were so happy that they had a beautiful girl next door, natural haired sister playing Lisa. Y'all are saying she don't look good, she's boring, the devil is a liar. She's very cute, very put together, and I'm not saying that because I'm thick and fine. I'm not saying all that. I'm saying that I appreciate it, and every character doesn't have to be turned up. This is not a Medea movie. Check out that review on my channel. This is drama. This is teen drama. You're going to have times when it's quiet and slow. So y'all need to stop it. It has to build tension. In either way, I give this episode, because I love this show, I give this episode 4 out of 5 Smarties. Even when the thing was slow, it still was giving me what I needed to get. And I appreciated this episode, and I love the writers, and I love Jabari Banks as well. He's playing the hell out of this. Everybody playing the hell out of this. Even Carlton get on my damn nerves, and that's how you know his acting is on point. And Lisa is an emo teenage girl. Have you met one? I got one. We're emo. We're quiet. We can't explain what we want. Just saying. All right, let me get into the episode now that I ended my little rant. Let's get into the episode and see what happens in the episode. Like I said, I thought it was good. I gave 4 out of 5 Smarties. So it hit for me. It didn't go full 5 because the first few episodes were so hard hitting and there was so much drama and action and so much music. And I love music that I got caught up in that. But I still enjoyed the show. So the synopsis of this episode says the Banks family supports Lisa when they host an event in memory of her mother at the mansion. And I'm like, this family is so giving, and you could tell they really brought this young lady into the fold, how they're supporting her with the death of her mother. And I've had children that were in my family that I brought in like that too. So I get it, and you love them like they're your own. Anyways, we go to Will's room, and he's in there bouncing his ball, looking sad because of his and Trey's fallout. And he's looking at his phone, concerned. You don't know what he's looking at. Is he on the gram? Is he on TikTok? Nobody knows. We go over to Aunt Viv, and she's freaked out because the caterer canceled because they triple booked. Aunt Viv thinks it will be fine because G is on top of it, but worries if Hillary will be able to help them with the cooking, right? Uncle Phil says, yeah, she was planning on coming and she knows how important it is to you. So I know she's going to make sure you're good. Ashley asks if anyone has seen Will because he's getting roasted on social media by his friends back home. And Aunt Viv says that's the last thing he needs. And I'm really disappointed that Trey, I know Trey was upset. I know the basketball team was upset. These are kids. They don't know how to act in a mature way. But that cyberbullying is very real. Bullying, period, is very real. Hell, they do it as grown people. And people don't realize how they act affects people's lives and cause people to do the S word. So I really take that seriously or whatever. Then they show Will looking at a meme calling him a snake that was posted by Trey, and he's reading the comments because they're saying he's for the streets, he's a traitor, all types of crazy stuff, basically cyberbullying, right? Canceling him. So Aunt Viv comes in to comfort him and ask if he's okay, but he wants to be left alone. She says, you can't stay locked up. We need help with the event. He goes to run off because he said, I'm going to go see Jazz. Uncle Phil's chasing him, trying to get him in it. And he screams and he loses control of the ball he's holding and breaks what looks like a very expensive vase. Y'all, in a regular black household, he would have got a whooping, but I'm sure the banks got it. Or somebody would have been flexing on his ass. But I'm sure the banks have insurance and they're going to make 3 times back. That's what people of means do. Anyways, Uncle Phil tells him to go to his office. Will storms into his office, and Uncle Phil says he needs to get a hold of himself. Will says he needs space, and just like Uncle Phil, I'm like, Negro, you're in a big mansion. You got plenty of space. And he tells him everybody doesn't want to walk on eggshells because you done fell out with your friend, right? You're on bad terms. Will says, F him. We're no longer boys. And I'm like, oh, or F that. F him, F that. I don't remember looking at my notes. I don't know. But I'm like, dang, are we cussing now? We in our feelings now? Okay. I wouldn't even let that ride, but it's all right. He's in a moment. Phil comforts him, gives him hugs. He says he knows what it's like to lose close friends out of our lives. But you got to understand, everybody goes through something. I want to emphasize that. Yes, everybody goes through something. You cannot make other people feel like crap because you're going through something. You're allowed to feel, go through whatever you're going through. But please don't pull other people in your foolishness. Please. But he says you're a part of the family and you have to consider what everyone else is going through. And he's like, they're clowning me, Uncle Phil. He said, you should see what they're saying. And Uncle Phil's like, shoot, you should see what they say about me online, especially Fox News. Y'all, I got rid of Fox News from my life. My life been amazing ever since. I don't pay attention to any news, really. I mean, I know what's going on overall, but I don't pay attention to news because it definitely will bring you down. I mean, I know what's going on. I'm not going to say what it is because YouTube like to act up, but I definitely know what's going on in the world. But sitting there and watching the 24-hour news cycle is bad for your health. So welcome to the party. We're at the party. So the fundraiser is important and he basically says the fundraiser is important. We need you to help, to lend a hand. And he's like, Will's like, I got you. And Uncle Phil's like, we got you. And I'm like, man, I love the way they show family solidarity on this show. Is displayed in so many different ways. People give each other grace. They know it boils down to blood, and that's not always the way it plays out in real life. Now we're with Hillary prepping to do a cooking segment, and she's all conservative and cute, down to her old Jackie O hair flip. She cute with the little black with the little white collar. I got that in my closet, but I'm not on that right now. As y'all can see, I'm colorful right now. If you want to know about the t-shirt, hit me on my email. I got you. Caribbean Goddess. No, I'm not showing my boobs. It's I'm showing off the t-shirt if you can see it. All right. Anyways, she's prepping, and the prank brothers interrupt by knocking over her extra virgin olive oil with a frisbee and recording. And I'm like, them dudes and their teeth are annoying, boy. And she tells them to chill the F out and get girlfriends. They say, man, this is good content. Just tag us. She says she does cuisine and not pranks. And they say they're just 2 black men in America giving the people what they want. And then they have the nerve to ask her how her video is going. And I'm like, this is a whole fool. You know you interrupted it, then you're going to ask how it's going. They warn her that the white boy don't play when it comes to deadlines. So she asks them to leave, and they steal something and run off and knock over the oil again. At the same time, Aunt Viv is calling her, and she gets it together and answers the phone. And her mom, of course, asks her for help with the event. Over to Aunt Viv and G. He found 6 servers. Y'all, G is like Alfred, a fine ass Alfred, 007, every spy, every goon, all rolled into one, and he looked good all the time. Yes, he has Africanized features and beautiful dark skin, and he is fine. It's to me. So G could get it. Anyways, Hillary rolls in with her little carton to save the day, and she wants to make New Orleans food replete with having the people make hurricanes and stuff, and which is an amazing drink if you've never had one. And Aunt Viv says it might be too much. Hillary says, you do your thing and I'll do mine. I got this. So we go over to Aunt Viv delegating, and she wants Jeffrey to handle outside with Will, but Uncle Phil says he needs him to handle a campaign matter, and we know what that means. G jumps up and leaves, and we don't know what type of goon-ish he gonna be on to handle for Uncle Phil. So he gets it done. So Phil turns around. He gives an act right speech. This is important. Everybody act right. So apparently the elephant in the room is that Lisa's dad married less than a year after her mom died. So Aunt Viv, who is best friends with Lisa's mom, has low-key beef, and Phil asked her to act right. And she was like, well, since you being all kumbaya, Uncle Phil, you need to not get into it with her dad over the policies. And he's like, today is bigger than politics, then promptly leaves to go handle politics. So I thought that was funny. And Uncle Phil is fine, y'all, too. There's some good-looking people on this show. Lisa strolls in, asks Carlton if he's ready for final rehearsal, and he says absolutely. He hands her something, probably words, and she waves at Will, and he gives her one of those universal head nods, and she looks hurt and confused at his coldness. Aunt Viv comments that the event is always tough for her, so we're gonna give her some grace, right? Then we go over to Hillary coaching a staff person, and she gets a call saying she needs to post before she loses followers. Is almost a 24-hour exodus. Is that true, y'all? If somebody doesn't post every 24 hours, you'll lose followers. I try to be consistent on here, but if there's something you want to see, let me know. I'll take the time to review it, because this channel is for me and for y'all. We in this together. Thank you for your love, like I said. He tells her she has 2 hours to go viral, and it can't be a repetitive cooking tutorial, and it's more important than a family matter, because she was like, I'm busy, I'm doing a family matter. And he makes a joke saying, oh, I really love that show. So he really ain't, he paying her ass dust. He don't care what she has to do. Then we have Carlton and Lisa, and they're practicing the poem, and she's struggling and sad because she doesn't believe the words of the happiness, and because she's only sad. And the new wife and her dad are having a baby and moving into a new house, and she feels like her mom is being erased. Will strolls out and sees them talking and holding hands and looks kind of perplexed and hurt. Then it flashes over and we see good food being cooked. I mean, that food was, oof, y'all. My tummy was like, what? But Aunt Viv is losing it, and they spill the tea that Gail, Lisa's mom, became like a sister to Aunt Viv. This is Hillary telling Ashley, like a sister to Aunt Viv, when Viv and Vi stopped talking. And Hillary said that if she were to guess what it had to do with, it had to do with Will. And Uncle Phil shuts it down. And I'm like, is Will's mom possibly? Is it a plot twist? Is we going full soap opera on this bit? And let me know what y'all think in the comments, and hit the like button. Anyways, he's over there looking frustrated, and Hillary asks her what's wrong. And he finds out that the Times, quote unquote, the Times, pulled an endorsement, and Jeffrey's looking into it and asked them not to worry their mom about it. Now Lisa goes over to Will and asks what's up. And he tells her that he's giving her space to grieve and be booed up with Carlton. You see how dudes do? He didn't even know what was going on. He started, acting up, but I guess they were holding hands. So he apologizes, and for saying that, she gets angry and says, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take that space you offered me. Then we go over at the fundraiser. Well, it's actually started now. And Aunt Viv's friend, who has like the best locks ever, is looking for Jeffrey. And, as you know, Jeffrey has the day off. And she brought that gallery owner, Reed, a.k.a. Michael Ealy with the eyes, for eye candy. And all the ladies or sorors are checking him out. Viv walks over and welcomes Fred and Angela, who is Lisa's new stepmama. And when you see her, I'm gonna give a shout out to Storm Monroe. Wonder Bread, Wonder Bread, Wonder Bread news. You know that Wonder Bread. She real pasty, and it explains a lot about what's going on. Love is love. I don't give a crap. But you could tell by the way she walked in, she was like she had her nose up, but then she wanted to be involved too. It was all a mess. And the dad says that Aunt Viv has outdone herself. They ask Aunt Viv asks how Lisa's doing, and she said she's obviously down in the dumps. She's depressed. So Aunt Viv grabs her and whisks her away. Then we see Ashley and her little friends wandering, and she introduces Lucia, or at least Lucia, to Hillary. That's her little boot thing crush. Will's over there playing piano, and Ashley wants to shoot her shot at Lucia, and Hillary says, just tell her how you feel. She looks over, and Kylo, who is the godfather of the social media house, is blowing up her phone, and Hillary is ignoring it. Over to where it's awkward, where Angela says, hey, you guys are doing Angela's a stepmom, right? Wonder Bread. And she says, we will shatter last year's record. And I'm like, who is we? The Banks done did all this work with Lisa and everything. You show up and say we. Who is we, ma'am? You see what I'm talking about? Trying to appropriate the fundraiser. You need to stop. Anyways, they asked Lisa and Carlton about college because they're all staying in a group. And Carlton says he wants to go to Princeton and his backup is Stanford. Lisa says she wants to swim for Howard. I always wanted to go to Howard. So I was like, yes, HBCU, Historically Black College and University. For those of you who don't know, I actually ended up going to a PWI, predominantly white institution. But yeah, I had an amazing time there because there was an HBCU right next to it. And I used to turn up over there and be at the PWI living my best life as well. If you want to know more, ask me about a story time. I have some amazing stories from college. Either way, Aunt Viv Soror offers up a recommendation because she went to Howard, and they start reminiscing about their sorority. And poor Miss Angela just looked lost. She don't know what the hell going on, and she's pregnant, by the way. And all of a sudden, she's like, "Oh, the baby kicking. I'm still not used to it." So she's trying to steal the shine and find a way to get out of there. Carlton clears it. Angela talks about Fred supporting her going back to work after having her baby, and you can tell everybody's uncomfortable, and she's like, don't give up your passions for a job. And then Aunt Viv's friend kind of throws a shot saying, yeah, you'll be taking care of your kids, and next thing you know, 15 years have passed. And Viv's like, on that note, let me clear it because I don't even like this damn lady, but I'm out. So we go to the next scene, and we got jazz and booze are flowing. And Angela, Wonder Bread, stepmom, asks Viv how to connect with Lisa. She wants to say words at the mother's memorial. I'm like, what? So she won't be an outsider or a wicked stepmother. Use a lie. Use a lie, y'all. My country came out. I would never go to an event that they did for my husband's ex-wife for the child that somebody totally created without me and demand to speak words. Viv turns to her and says, let it be about the mom who passed away. Will interjects, because he's a charmer, and says, and then she throws shots then, Angela. He's like, I'm the one who moved in. She's like, you're the one they took in. Like, he was a complete charity case. And he was like, yes, they've been doing right by me. I'm like, here go the bullshit. And then she lets it out that her and Lisa's dad have been talking about a baby since her first trip to Palm Springs. And Viv ears done perked up. You know when your friend hears something about to go down there? And she overhears that they met for the first time at the LAPD golf tournament, and he won, and she said she was his good luck charm. So think about it. She said they were talking about a baby. She was his good luck charm when they were at a golf tournament. And Aunt Viv was like, hold up. I remember that golf tournament. It happened in 2018. My friend died in 2019, and they were still married. Angela, let me get out of here. Let me go use the restroom. That baby be sitting on my bladder. Y'all, it's an entanglement. She was smashing that man while that other lady was sick and dying alive. She been smashing, and he been offering to put a baby in her. Lord have mercy. Of course, Lisa gonna feel like crap, and of course, Aunt Viv gonna have smoke. And they did get married super soon, so all the rumors were true. Will quickly figured it out, and Aunt Viv had to walk away because she said she needed a minute. Then they show more food. Maybe I need to get some good New Orleans food, like some shrimp etouffee or some gumbo or something. I need to go head over to Voodoo Bayou. No, they didn't promote this video, but their food is bust, and I need to go over there and get some oysters or something. But anyways, the ladies or the sorors are talking to Hillary and asking about her moving out and how it's going. She lies and says it's great. And they said that pool house is still open. And heck, if they could, they would move in. And Hillary says she'd rather be homeless. And same time she's talking that trash, she gets a text from Kylo. And he tells her she's a few hours from digital disaster. So my whole thing is, you didn't want to work with that one group because they were going to tell you what to do. Now you got somebody who's a taskmaster on that ass. But I guess he's letting you post your own type of content. But not really, since he said your cooking tutorials are going to be boring if you post it again. You still end up in a situation where you're not running a show. But it is what it is. Viv finds Reese looking at her piece. Remember, that's the gallery dude. He don't want her in these people's house, all the way to her workspace and looking at her art. He says she says the painting is not ready, and he says her painting is ready, and he putting the moves on her. He says enter your painting at a silent auction, and if it goes for more than 15 grand, she'll show her work at his gallery, and if it doesn't, he'll leave her alone. Phil sees Reese. He don't walk by, and he see his wife and a man standing in a room they ain't supposed to be in, and ask who he is. He tells him about the plan, about the auction, and he's surprised. He's like, I didn't know she was still painting. And she's like, I was just dabbling, trying to downplay it. But Reese makes sure to say he's stunning right in front of Uncle Phil. And then Uncle Phil marks his territory by smooching the fine-ass Aunt Viv in front of fine-ass Reese. And he breaks up the show. And then when they're leaving, Reese tries to move the painting and take it out there. Phil says, leave it. I got somebody to do that. You're a guest. You go do guest stuff. Reese laughs and walks out and pats him on his arm on the way out, letting him know, I ain't scared of you, bruh. Either way, we're back to Will and Lisa. Will sees Lisa, and she admits that she hates Angela. And the day is about her mom, and instead she's making it about her. And both of them bond over a missing parent, anger, and hurt. He lets her know that his dad left when he was 4, so he doesn't really remember him. And when he brings up Carlton, she admits that she thinks Carlton is using her vulnerability to get closer, and she's tired of tiptoeing around his emotions. She wants to be able to work through her stuff without navigating through his. And Carlton sees and hears this while on the balcony and gets pissed. So we're back over to Ashley, and she's playing pinball with her friends. And I got so excited to see pinball. I love pinball, y'all, and I love air hockey. What old school game do you guys like, or would you have in your fantasy game room or rec room? So Lucia touched her, and so it's kind of like send a little vibe on her, and they both send little dude off for drinks. And I'm thinking they're gonna talk to each other, actually gonna shoot her shot. But come to find out, Lucia said that she's had a crush on somebody and it's been since the skate party, and she's into Will. And she's like, his swag is on 10. I'm like, oh, shoot. Oh, Will is taking everybody chick when he done rolled up. Then we go back to the auction, and we got Reese bidding on the painting. And he bid the $15,000. Phil sees this, and he bids it anonymously. And Phil outbids him to $20,000 anonymously. So Phil got his good eye on Reese. We go back to the food. Like I said, it's beautiful. Will's running around with drinks, trying to get to Uncle Phil, dodged in, twisting his body. Gets it to Uncle Phil, and Jeffrey goes over to Uncle Phil and whispers in his ear, and Phil gives him orders, and Will makes a little slick comment saying G is 007. Lisa comes over looking for Carlton for reading the poem, and Will offers to go find him. Then we switch over to Hillary. Hillary and her thigh walks in because she had a long ass slit, and finds Ashley, and she basically has a little talk to her about the heartbreak, because she tells her that the girl likes Will over her, and Hillary says that's a part of life, and asks her if she's ready to come out, and she's not ready. But Ashley helps Hildy out by giving her motivation because she said everybody thinks you're gonna move back and you need to prove them wrong because you got this, right? So everybody's backing each other up. Then we go to Will knocking on Carlton's door, and he and that bitch pulling a Scarface, snoring that powder, and I'm like, oh my God, that thing don't take you out as much as your ass is snoring that damn powder. Anyways, he keeps knocking. Carlton's not answering, so he busts in, and Carlton tells him that he overheard him and Lisa talking. He's upset. He's strolling and sweating. And Will's like, I was only supporting her as a friend. And if you were her friend, you would be okay with that. And Carlton breaks down and starts crying. And Will says, calm down. And Carlton says he's sorry. He says, I can't go out there in this state. And Will comforts him and says, I got you. So we go over to Aunt Viv, and she's hosting, and she's honoring Gail and Lupus, and introduces Lisa. I've lost so many friends with Lupus, so that really touched me. And Phil is giving, I forgot if Lisa's dad was giving Phil the side eye, or Phil was giving Lisa's dad the side eye. I can't remember. But anyway, Lisa said that poetry eased her mom's pain, and it eases her pain now that she's gone. Will actually joins her and helps her through. They hug, and Carlton sees this and walks off. They ask where Carlton is, and Will covers for him and said he's sick and had to take a nap. Angela once again insists on saying a few words. And I'm like, the audacity of it all, Wonder Bread. Why? So you're going to keep pushing it after she told you no in private. So now you want to be embarrassed in public. And that's exactly what happened. Aunt Vid have had enough. Think about it. You come in, you was the side chick to her best friend, man, and you want to take over the place after I did all this work. She goes, she's had enough. She was like, you need to sit down or leave, or you need to do it when you use your house to basically throw the event. So they decide to leave, and the husband backs her up. Lisa asked to stay, and Aunt Viv's like, of course, baby, because you know that's her best friend's baby. And when all that goes down, that's when the truth comes out. Lisa's dad has joined to the race to run against Uncle Phil. Dun, dun, dun. And Uncle Phil's like, it's going to be awkward when a friend betrays you and the friendship ends. And Lisa's dad said he feels betrayed because of Phil's platform, because, the whole defunding of the Popo. Hopefully I don't make YouTube come get my video. And he said it's a new day, and your money, muscle, and connection won't save you. And the reason he said muscle, because when he started to act up, G was right here on that neck, ready to pop off. Do something, Popo. I don't care who you are. So I'm like, they some G's, and you could tell they kind of did a cool shot where G and Uncle Phil stood together and they were coordinated. That was hard as fuck, y'all. I gotta, cause it was hard like an album cover. And Uncle Phil tells him to watch Lisa's dad, and he tells him to watch Reed, and G says he's already on it. And I'm like, man, G, you the hardest ninja alive. I need somebody like that on my team. I got a couple people like that on my team. You know who you are? Who got my back no matter what. But if you ain't got one, get you one. And Reed, so we switch over to Aunt Viv, and Reed is talking to her, and he gives her props for taking down the chick in front of everybody and wants her to show that same passion through art. And it would be an honor, right? And I have a theory. I think that Reed knew that Uncle Phil was getting kind of jealous, so he wrote in his auction price at the amount to get her to post, so that will show that he feeling her some type of way. But he knew that Uncle Phil would outdo him, and he wouldn't end up having to pay no damn money. The game is real by bidding the $20,000. Peep that game, y'all. I see you, Michael Ealy, aka Reed. I see you in them damn eyes. Anyways, Carlton wakes up, and I'm thinking, so who's sitting next to him? And it's Uncle Phil. And Uncle Phil was like, I know what's going on. You should see him panicking. Carlton was panicking. And my kids are so bad. They say he got a swoop forehead. I got a big forehead too, but they say it was like a swoop. And I say, y'all dead ass wrong. But anyways, Uncle Phil blames anxiety, and he tells him to show himself some grace. And he tells him that Fred Wiltz is running against him. And Carlton like, what you gonna do? He said, I'm gonna kick his ass. There you go, Uncle Phil. I like that confidence about you. I like that. Anyways, we're over to Will, and he's over there giving Aunt Viv props. And Aunt Viv reminisces about being best friends with Gail and how they would do anything for each other, and tells him, you should use this as an example to give Trey some time and space, and he will come around. So he goes looking for Lisa or whatever. And we pan over, and Hillary's making creme brulee and lingerie. And I'm like, what in the OnlyFans? I know you ain't gonna go straight to sex, Hillary. Dang. She look good though, but I wouldn't do it. That's gonna be everywhere, and you might want to get a different job, and that's gonna be out in this universe, right? Will finds Lisa by the pool, putting her feet in the water, and she's happy as hell because Aunt Viv had her back and put Angela Wonder Bread in her place. And she thanks Will for basically doing the poem with her. And he lets her know that it was Carlton's idea. And they're talking, and she's like, I miss us hanging and vibing. And she asks, why the distance? And he's like, I think you're an amazing girl, but you have enough drama going on in your life, and I don't want to bring any more drama. And they both realize that that's not what they both want. And then all of a sudden they kiss to an amazing soundtrack, and it was super cute. And y'all want to talk trash about her being big and not being cute? The chemistry still worked, and I want to put it out there. Do y'all remember that Queen Latifah was one of Will's love interests? Do y'all remember when they both put the straws and they were doing the walrus and all the other shit? So it's possible, y'all. The original Fresh Prince. Anyways, it fades to black, a beautiful, romantic, another amazing episode. I really enjoyed it. It covered so many topics. It covered death, grief. It covered drug use. It covered following your passions. It covered crooked politics. It covered cheating and entanglements. It covered so much. And it covered also how far are you willing to go to be successful or prove everybody else wrong. And it covered family being strong and the family dynamic. With that being said, I love you all. Thank you for joining me and watching Bel-Air. Episode 6 of season 1, The Strength to Smile. Come back and see me again. Love who loves you. I hope God gives you everything that you need. And the Sepia Scholar is out.